Hi, my name is Anas Mukhtar, and you've just landed on this video in which I will teach you the basics of public speaking. But before we go there, let me introduce you to myself. I joined Toastmasters back in 2017, and ever since I have delivered over 20 speeches. And then I started participating in all the competitions of Toastmasters, and I became a better enhanced speaker than before. You see, Toastmasters have helped me a lot in speaking, and it gave me and it boosted my confidence immensely beyond even your imagination. And if you want to succeed in life, you have to understand and you need to know the basics of public speaking. Now, don't you ever think that public speaking is something that is God-given. It's not like a talent that you have to be born with. It's a skill that you can develop and enhance with practice over time. Now, let me remind you of one thing. Almost all speeches you hear on the internet, or if you went to a seminar, they're all prepared speeches, except for a few cases when the speaker might go on stage and speak off their mind without actually preparing the speech. Now, these are very rare few cases that you cannot count on. For example, we have in Toastmasters something called the table topics session, in which the speaker gets on stage and then they ask him a question, and from 1 to 2 minutes they're supposed to answer to that question. But this is not our topic tonight. Tonight I'm going to show you exactly how you must prepare a speech and be ready to speak before an audience. Now, let's jump to the most important part of this video: how to prepare a public speech. We've got 3 major points or components that we need to really think about when we come to write our speeches. The first one is you must understand and you have to know your audience. And why do we need to know the audience? Because once we know the audience, it'll make it easier for us to write a speech. Are we speaking to experts of the subject of the matter? Do we speak to newbies? Are we speaking to kids, teenagers, a room full of women or a room full of men? Because once you understand the audience, you will learn how to pick up the right words, use the right language. Do we need to add complex terminology? Should we make it easier to grasp and understand? All of those are major factors in writing a speech. And once you understand the audience, you will know exactly how to articulate yourself and how to write the proper speech. Now, I want you to imagine this scenario. Let's say you're a male speaker and you're going to give a speech to a bunch of angry, protesting feminists. Are you going to speak about the rights of men to marry 4 wives? I don't think that's going to be a nice idea. You will never leave that stage alive. Never, ever. What? Did he just say that? Girl, just let me deal with him. Let me deal with him. Somebody call the ambulance because somebody is going to go to the hospital. Now, you don't want to go there. You don't want to be in a predicament. So understanding an audience, it will save you a lot in writing the speech, and it will help you immensely in writing the proper speech for that specific audience. Now let's go to the second important point of writing your public speech, which is the speech itself, the content, the topic. Now, it may seem a little bit difficult when you come to write a speech, but there are 3 main components of every public speech. You have something we call the introduction, and then we have the body of the speech, which has all the key messages, and then you have the conclusion. Think of it as this: when you first step on the stage, you need to tell your audience what you will tell them. Let me repeat that one more time. When you first step on the stage, you need to tell the audience what you're going to tell them, and then tell your audience, and then tell your audience what you already told them. Introduction, body, and conclusion. Now, the third main point of writing a public speech is the way you will deliver that speech. Speech delivery, the method of delivery. Now, it is also not that hard to learn how to be a public speaker and how to deliver a speech in a very elegant and very catchy manner. There are a certain set of skills. If you practice them daily, if you practice them all the time, you'll be able to deliver a very catchy speech. Now, let me remind you of something. You can write the most beautiful speech ever, but if you don't know how you will say it, your message will be lost. Now remember, you need to keep an eye contact. You need to have hand gestures. And also, you need to use your stage. Your stage is your territory. You need to map your speech on every spot on that stage. You might start in the middle of the stage and then move to the right when you want to deliver a point, go back to the middle, and then move to the left if you want to deliver another point, and then you might want to end up on the middle of the stage one more time. Imagine you are part of the audience, and then a speaker comes on stage and they start delivering a speech without making any kind of eye contact with the audience, or they're standing still and stiff, they're not moving, and they look really nervous. What kind of an impression you might get from that speaker? That he's either nervous or unprepared. You don't want that to happen to you as well. Let's just wrap it up. Let's just wrap it all up, and let's just go back through the points one more time. You want to write your public speech. First, you need to understand what audience you're speaking to. Second, you need to write a good topic. And writing a topic has three main components: introduction, and body, and conclusion. And the third main point of writing a public speech is the way you will deliver that speech. Your method of delivery, your body movements, your hand gestures, your eye contact. Those basic points I've just mentioned are going to help you immensely and greatly in writing any speech and speaking before an audience. Thank you. I was with you, Anas Mukhtar, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.